Good morning everyone, welcome to Vlogmas day 2. It is Saturday and if you're wondering why I'm wearing a bright yellow summery dress, I am taking some photos to upload bits and pieces to Vinted. So I'm going to crack on with that and talk to you at the same time because otherwise we know what I'm like, I'll just stand there and talk and get nothing done. So at the moment, because things are so busy, I'm having to really make the most of daylight hours. So it's Saturday today, don't know if I already said that, and so I'm not at work because it's Saturday. So I have got all day to make the most of the hours of daylight that we actually get. With it being December, that's not very many. And so I really do have to make the most of them because when I get home from work, it's dark. And so I don't have any time in the daylight to do the things I need to do. So I have to sort of plan my days or my weekends especially around what I need to get done in terms of light and not light. And so things like taking photos for Vinted, there needs to be natural light to do that. Filming content for videos that are like main videos needs to really be in daylight. Filming content for reels needs to be in daylight. So those are all the things I'm trying to pack into the daylight hours, and then everything else, I think it doesn't matter. I can do that when it gets dark. Things like editing videos, scheduling videos, going to the gym. There are so many things I don't need daylight to do that I literally have to plan my days around the daylight. It probably sounds ridiculous, but that's what I'm doing at the minute. So I'm just making the most of the daylight to take some photos for Vinted. My Vinted has really slowed down lately. It's been so quiet. I thought maybe it would pick up for Christmas, like people wanting to get a few bits for Christmas, but it really hasn't. But at the same time, I've not really been uploading very much recently because I haven't had the time to. Oh, this one's going to be hard to do. There's this on the back. How do I take a photo of my own back? Do I need to do a selfie? There we go. So I really need to get back into uploading stuff to Vinted. Now in terms of that, you might be wondering where I'm still finding things to upload to Vinted since I'm rarely buying any clothes anymore and I've got nothing really left of my own to declutter that I'm not using. And the answer is I've got a friend who's been having a massive clear out of her clothes. She doesn't want to spend the time putting it on Vinted. She would just get rid of it all. So we agreed that I would take all the stuff, I would spend the time uploading it all to Vinted and doing all of that, but since it's her stuff, then we will just share any money that it makes. And we figured, depending on how much we make from her things, we can use the money to go out for dinner together. If it's a little bit more money, we could put it as a deposit for a trip together, or if at the end of the day we just would rather have the money, then we'll just split it 50-50 and we'll both have a bit of money to enjoy. As I said, I've not uploaded to Vinted for a while, so mine's been very quiet, but there are over 120 things on there that are mostly what's left over of mine that has just been there for a while, and then the start of my friend's stuff. And so after I've uploaded all of this lot, because there's quite a bit to get through, there's going to be so many items on my Vinted. So what I've been doing is when I've got daylight hours, I am taking pictures of all of the clothes I've got in one go. So rather than doing it like one by one where you take the photos and you upload it, you take the photos and you upload it, I'm just taking photos of me wearing all of the things first because I do like to make sure that they are modelled on Vinted. I do think it really helps. Then I will take photos of everything on hangers afterwards. As far as I'm concerned with all of this, if I can do all the getting changed bit all in one go and then I can get cosy and warm again and then take all the photos of everything on hangers separately, I would much rather do that. Taking photos of me wearing them is the bit that I really don't like because I hate having to get changed and get cold 500 times. So after I've done this bit, I will then get nice and cozy again, start taking photos of the pieces on the hangers, and that's all the stuff I have to get done sort of whilst it's still light, and then the actual uploading I can do when it gets dark, which is generally like 4 o'clock. So I still have a lot of time in my day to actually do the uploading and the things that don't require daylight that I can do in the dark. It's not like I have to do a mad rush of that in the evenings because it's dark for a lot of the time now. So I'm going to crack on with this and I'll catch up with you again in a bit. So that's all done and I'm back into my own clothes, which feels much more cosy. That's the worst of it done, the getting changed bit. So now I just get to take photos of everything on the hanger, which is quite a fiddly job getting everything on and off the hanger. But at least I don't have to get changed for it. And then all of my images will be ready to be uploaded to Vinted, and so I generally just put everything in a bag or in a box, and then when I've got sort of 10-15 minutes I will just sit and go through and upload them. There have been a few occasions where I've used sort of, I guess what you'd call downtime. You know, when you get those moments in your life like waiting for a train, waiting for your dentist appointment or something, where I've got a few items where I've got the photos in my phone but I haven't uploaded them to Vinted yet, and I will just do it then. But you really have to know your item specs to be able to do that. So if it's something of mine and I know it's definitely a size 10, it's definitely from this particular brand, then that's fine, I can do that. But when it's someone else's stuff I'm selling and I have absolutely no idea, then that doesn't really work out so well. So I'm going to take all my photos for these and then I'll be all set for a few evenings worth of uploading items to Vinted. The more I do this, the more I'm sort of feeling like for the amount of time you put into it, maybe it's not the best side hustle. But then at the same time, I think probably throughout this year, I've made over £500 selling things on Vinted. So it really depends on how you view it in terms of time spent to money earned. Like if you looked at it as like an hourly rate, it would be shockingly low, I imagine, just because of how much time it takes to do every item, to take the photos, to upload them, to package it, to then ship it, and then, you know, you never know, someone might even return the item, so all of that work then works out for nothing. And on Vinted, you generally don't price items very high. It's not somewhere where you're sort of making big money. It's people are looking for a bargain when they're shopping on Vinted. I would say the only downside about doing my photos like this and taking all my photos of my outfits on and then taking all the photos separately for the hanger shots is that they're then in two separate sort of, I won't say locations on your phone, but like you have to scroll through a whole bunch. Like you find the ones where you're wearing them and then you have to scroll through all the other ones where you're wearing them and then find where you took photos of them on the hangers. So it does have a little bit of a downside in that aspect, but honestly I would just rather get them all worn and those photos taken and then be done with that bit, because that's the bit I don't like. So I think because I've been chattering along for quite a while and I said I'd keep Vlogmas short and sweet, this is really what I'm going to be doing for the most of today. I want to put my outside Christmas lights up because despite the fact that we know my Christmas tree was up at the start of November, I didn't brave putting my outside lights up on my house. I didn't want my neighbours to think I was absolutely bonkers. So I want to do those today. Again, that's something I would like to do before it gets dark, but I can probably do that like 3:30 and get away with it. I want to go to the garden centre. It's my granddad's birthday coming up and I want to get him a plant. I've got him a little present already, but I just want to get him a nice plant to go with it because he's a big gardener, and you know, when you're 84 years of age, he doesn't go out an awful lot now, except to sort of budgeons down the road. So he potters around his garden quite a bit, and so I wanted to get him a nice plant. So I will go and do that, and then I've got some reels, stuff I want to film for my journal and upload to CG Designs, and then editing for Vlogmas. So that is pretty much my day. It's nothing really exciting. So I will wrap this one up and I will see you again tomorrow for more of a sit down chit-chatty life update kind of video. So I will see you again tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Until the next one, take care. Bye.